All right, we want to get that perfect takeaway, get a nice little draw, very straight shots. Well, why is the takeaway important? What is the perfect takeaway? Well, what a lot of players will do is this club head will immediately go to the inside. So my club head starts to loop to the inside. From there, I really can't swing from this position. I'd be swinging way inside out, which obviously isn't going to work. Your body realizes this. And once it gets inside here, we start to steepen it up in the downswing, and before we know it, our club shaft is very steep. We're coming up out of our posture to compensate for that. We're chunking and thinning. We're doing all these different things that we don't want to, and that can all stem from this inside takeaway here. Well, it's actually not the club head that's causing the inside takeaway. It's the hands. You see, when every single person I've ever had that does an inside takeaway, if I was to draw a line on the front of the hands, so let's take my normal setup, my normal grip here, and if I was going to put a line, a vertical line on the front of my hand here, when they start the takeaway, their hands will pop outside of that line. So their hands move this way, and that forces the club to move in. So it looks like this. So there's the inside takeaway, my hands pop out, the club pops in, and then all of a sudden I'm steep in the downswing. The solution is, I want to feel like if I took that vertical line again, my hands never go outside that line. And when my hands go in, the club head naturally stays out. It's not going to get sucked in like this. So if you imagine, again, another way of visualizing this, imagine the hands are swinging on an arc here. And the bottom of that arc, or the bottom of that hoop, would be right here at address. So that's the farthest this way the hands are going to get in the entire swing. As they come back, they go to the inside. As they make a downswing, they go to here, and then they start to go back to the inside again. So we never really want the hands to go outside of that. We want to feel like the hands immediately go up that arc as you're going back, and that's going to keep the club head out here. Now, once the club head gets out here, as we change direction, it naturally shallows out. It's very easy to come from the inside and get that great looking swing. So you want to feel like the hands go in immediately, the club head stays outside of it, and then the transition. That's the sensation that you want to have. Now, you can do that in a variety of ways to get feedback. I really like having a little device like this where I can put a pull noodle, or you could really use anything, but anything that's going to set on the front of my hands here. Let's go ahead and get a golf ball up here. So I'm going to set this golf ball up, I'm going to set my club behind it, and now I'm going to position this pull noodle until it's resting on the front of my hands here. Now, if I do the wrong takeaway, I'm going to do this. My hands are going to go out, push the pull noodle out, and my club goes in. Obviously, it makes it a total mess there. If I do the right kind of takeaway, my hands immediately start to go to the inside. You'll notice that club head stays out. And then I shallow it out, and then I feel like I'm actually letting my rear end drop back in the transition. I don't want my rear end going forward, me standing up out of my posture. I'm going to feel like I go back to make space. And the sensation is, I feel like I can bring my hands inside that pull noodle again, stay in my posture, and then hit through the shot. Now, obviously, I can't swing through with this big thing in the way, but that gives you immediate feedback. If the hands go out, hit this noodle, that club head is going in every single time. No matter how much you work on the club head, that's not the problem. The hands and the first move with it is what dictates all that. So let's have this same sensation. I'm going to go ahead, I've done a few reps there. I'm going to feel like immediately my hands go in. I drop back to get under that noodle, and I come from the inside. That's going to get my club going back in a great takeaway and a nice tight little draw on this shot. Let's give it a whirl. There we go. Not going to hit one much better than that. Drawing back really nicely. That's the type of shot shape that I like to have. I really want the shape of the shot to be consistent, and having the club moving in a consistent way is how that's going to happen. So notice how the tracer, this black line, notice how it's tracing the same curve. I may miss shots a little bit to the left, miss shots a little bit to the right. Nobody's perfect, but I want that draw, that same curvature every single time. And the only way I'm going to get that, I can't have the club come in here and get steep, or all of a sudden the club's going all over the place. I'm going to be very inconsistent. One of them's going to fade, one of them's going to draw, one of them's going to be thin, one of them's going to be a chunk. Now, the second piece of this, making sure that that ball draws back, is the club face. You see, if I don't square the club face in the right way, then I'm going to have big time problems. Most players have been taught you got to roll the forearms over. You have to roll the arms to release the club face. To get this face to turn over, my forearms have to do this, and that's how we square up the club face. Well, that ends up doing this. We start to stand up out of our posture so we can release the face that way. And now I'm kind of throwing at it, I'm flipping, I'm casting, I'm tall like this in my posture. It's really not a good position to be in to be consistent. The pros are doing it totally different than that. What the pros are doing, they're staying down in their posture like we talked about, and they're using their wrist in a very precise way. They're not doing this to square the face. They're doing this to square the face. I want to teach you that because that's really important to playing great golf. I call it the anti-roll method. And if you click one of the cards that you see on the screen up here, I'm going to walk you through what that is, how to do it, everything you need to know about it so that you can start releasing it like the pros right away. So go ahead and click one of those cards. If you don't see the card, don't worry. Go down to the description below, click the link there, and you'll get instant access to the anti-roll method video, one of my best videos I've ever done on this. So go ahead and click the card now. I can't wait to share with you the anti-roll method so that not only can you get that great takeaway, can you get that inside path, but you can release it the right way every single time to get draw after draw after draw. Let's go get started right now. Here's the bottom line. If you've been taught to roll the club in the early downswing, that causes the shaft to get steep. And that steep club causes all your problems. It causes you to hit it way behind the big hitters and way inconsistent with your quality of strikes. So you're in the tall grass and the trees and the hazards all day long. Now the great news is this. There's really only two pieces that you need to know to fix all these problems. The first one is we need to learn the proper way to square up the club face. Instead of rolling the forearms and getting steep, there's another way that the pros do this. Once you learn this right way to square up the club face, then you can shallow out from the inside and everything starts to fit together. Now I'm going to teach you this right now in what I call the anti-roll method. You may also hear this called the motorcycle move or the tour twist, but let's walk through exactly how to do that. Now what I want you to do is go ahead and go kind of in the last parallel in the downswing. So here, I want my hips to go ahead and be opening up. I want my club to be parallel with the ground, and I want my hands to be in front of my right thigh. Now, when I take my grip, you're going to notice that when I do this, the club face is basically straight up and down. So if I'm looking at it from this angle, you'll see the face is straight up and down, and my logo of my glove is pointed out in front of me. Now from there,